Have you ever wondered why India seems to be getting hotter each year? Well, it's not just a feeling, the data backs it up. Just last year, in 2023, we saw the warmest year on record, and as we stepped into 2024, January alone recorded the highest monthly global surface temperature. It's not an isolated incident, the trend is clear and undeniable. Temperatures in India are on an upward trajectory, and alarmingly, they're rising at a pace that's faster than the global average. This isn't just about uncomfortable summers or the need for more air conditioning. The rising heat brings with it a host of challenges, from more frequent and intense heat waves to increased heat stress and fire risk. But what exactly is causing this steady rise in India's temperature? One major contributor to India's increasing heat is human-induced climate change. Picture this. Every time we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, we release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This carbon dioxide, along with other greenhouse gases like methane and nitrous oxide, forms an invisible blanket around our planet. And this is what we call the greenhouse effect. Now, the greenhouse effect isn't inherently a bad thing. In fact, it's what makes life on Earth possible, keeping our planet at a comfortable average temperature. But here's the catch. When we pump too much of these gases into the atmosphere, we thicken that blanket. And a thicker blanket means more heat gets trapped, leading to a rise in Earth's average temperature. This is what we call global warming. So what does this have to do with India's heat problem? Well, India, like the rest of the world, isn't immune to global warming. As we continue to burn fossil fuels for energy, we're contributing to the thickening of the greenhouse gas blanket, and thus, to the warming of our planet. This is leading to higher temperatures, not just in India, but globally. But it's not just the burning of fossil fuels that's the problem. Deforestation, too, plays a major role in climate change. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, helping to regulate the Earth's climate. When we cut them down, we not only lose a crucial ally in our fight against climate change, but we also release stored carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, further exacerbating the problem. Moreover, changes in land use, such as the conversion of natural habitats into agricultural land or urban areas, also contribute to climate change. These activities reduce the Earth's capacity to absorb carbon dioxide and increase the amount of sunlight that is absorbed by the land, which in turn increases the Earth's temperature. But climate change isn't the only factor turning up the heat in India. Natural phenomena like El Niño and ocean warming also play a significant role in heating up India. But what are these phenomena exactly? Let's start with El Niño. It's a period of significant warming in Pacific Ocean surface temperatures, which usually occurs every 2 to 7 years. This causes a shift in atmospheric circulation, leading to changes in weather patterns worldwide. In the case of India, El Niño often results in weakened monsoons. Now, monsoons are crucial for India's agriculture. They bring about 70% of the country's annual rainfall. So, a weakened monsoon due to El Niño can lead to droughts, impacting food production and water supply, and exacerbating heat conditions. Now let's move on to ocean warming. The world's oceans act like a giant sponge, absorbing over 90% of the excess heat trapped by greenhouse gases. This leads to a rise in sea surface temperatures. But why does this matter? Warmer seas can supercharge typhoons and cyclones, leading to more extreme weather events. For a country like India with a vast coastline, this translates into more intense cyclones and storm surges, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. But there's more. Warmer oceans also lead to the melting of polar ice caps. This contributes to a rise in sea levels, posing a threat to coastal cities and communities. India, with its extensive coastline, is particularly vulnerable to these effects. In essence, El Niño events and ocean warming have ripple effects that reach far beyond just raising temperatures. They disrupt weather patterns, intensify extreme weather events, and pose significant challenges to human safety and sustainability. Yet, there's another element to consider in our quest to understand India's rising heat. Urban areas in India are feeling the heat even more due to the urban heat island effect. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is this urban heat island effect? Simply put, it's a phenomenon where urban and metropolitan areas are significantly warmer than their surrounding rural areas. This is primarily due to human activities and the concrete jungle we've built. You see, cities are often a maze of concrete and asphalt, materials that absorb and retain heat. During the day, these surfaces soak up the sun's rays, and at night, they release this stored heat, leading to higher nighttime temperatures. This is in stark contrast to rural areas, where vegetation and open spaces help in reducing heat absorption and promoting cooling. Urbanization plays a big role in this. As cities expand and more rural land is converted into urban spaces, the balance shifts. Trees and vegetation, natural coolants that absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, are replaced with buildings and roads. This not only increases heat absorption, but also reduces shade and the cooling effect of evaporation from soil and leaves. Deforestation exacerbates this situation. By removing trees, we're not just losing the shade they provide, but we're also losing their ability to absorb carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming. In essence, we're turning our cities into heat traps. The urban heat island effect is not just a matter of discomfort due to rising temperatures. It has serious implications for public health, energy consumption, and even local weather patterns. Heat waves become more frequent and more intense, increasing the risk of heat-related illnesses and death. Higher temperatures also mean higher energy demand for cooling, which can strain energy resources and contribute to further climate change through increased greenhouse gas emissions. So, we've uncovered some key reasons behind India's increasing temperatures, but what does this mean for the future? The future projections for India's climate are alarming, to say the least. As the world continues to warm, India is expected to bear the brunt of this change with more intense, longer-lasting, and frequent heat waves. Picture this, a future where the scorching summer sun isn't just an inconvenience but a lethal force. A world where stepping outside could be hazardous to your health. This is the grim reality that India could face if current warming trends continue. These intensified heat waves won't just be a discomfort, they pose a serious threat to human safety and sustainability. With each degree that the mercury rises, the likelihood of heat-related illnesses and deaths also increases. This paints a worrying picture, particularly for densely populated urban areas where the heat can be even more intense. But it's not just about the immediate danger to human life. There's also the long-term sustainability aspect to consider. Increased heat can lead to droughts, affecting water supply and agriculture. It can exacerbate air pollution, creating a vicious cycle of health risks. And let's not forget the potential impact on India's rich biodiversity. The Indian government has recognized this growing threat and has initiated heat action plans. These plans aim to reduce the risks associated with heat waves and protect the most vulnerable populations. But are they enough? Will they be able to keep pace with the rapidly changing climate? It's clear that India's rising temperatures pose a serious challenge, one that requires immediate attention and action. As we look to the future, the question remains, will we rise to meet this challenge, or will we let the heat wave roll over us? India's rising temperatures are a pressing concern, not just for the country but for the world. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned today. The Earth is on a significant warming trend, with human-induced climate change being a key player. Natural phenomena like El Niño are also influencing these rising temperatures, causing both land and sea areas to heat up. The urban heat island effect is another factor, particularly in India's bustling cities, exacerbating the heat stress on the population. Looking ahead, the predictions are sobering. Heat waves in India are expected to become more intense, longer-lasting, and more frequent. This could lead to even higher mortality rates, posing a serious challenge to human safety and sustainability. But it's not all doom and gloom. With knowledge comes power, and understanding these factors is the first step towards combating them. Governments, communities, and individuals are already starting to take action, implementing heat action plans in an attempt to mitigate the growing threat. As the heat rises, so must our efforts to understand and combat the factors contributing to India's increasing temperature. Remember what our Constitution says, we the people of India. If we come together to make it happen, we can surely counter it.